Hey guys, it's almost the end of the year. A new floor is on the horizon, floor 7, potentially next week. But I still want to discuss what might be coming out in the next few months, since there's still the rest of October, November, and December, since I don't see them just pushing out floor 7 and then just being dry on content for the next few months, right? Because they definitely need to be doing something with the game, since they recently released monetization, if you guys remember, which has enabled definitely to pick up more staff and stuff like that. I'm not really sure how many new devs and stuff they've managed to pick up from all this new money they've gotten, but I still want to sit here and talk about potential stuff that could come out in the future, which is a topic I've gone over before, but you never really know. So the first one to talk about is dungeons, right? Since that's kind of the main content we are getting currently, if you know what I mean. So dungeons is literally, we're at the 7th floor over the next 1 to 2 weeks probably, but from there, they are taking a break, which does seem a bit worrying, because if they take a break, when will we get the next 3 floors? At that rate, it doesn't seem like they will finish the dungeon until 2021, which is a bit of a shame. I was expecting them to be finished with dungeons, by the end of this year, but I guess we'll just have F7 and we'll maybe get F8 in December. I mean, I guess we don't really know, but a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have the dungeon be complete so they could, close that page of Skyblock and go on to something else. Instead, they're just going to stop on F7, take a break, go work on some other stuff, and then come back. Because Skyblock, the rest of Skyblock at least, is in dire need of some new content, especially some new islands. I think a really good way, or that they could go about adding in a new island, is make something very similar to the End Island, which is something like the Abyss Island, which is something that's been talked about a lot, but it was slated to come this year. But at the rate that things are going, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to even come out, because we haven't heard anything about it. There's been no talk, and it just makes it seem like it's not going to happen, which is something they talked about earlier in the year, especially with the armor rework they did. They mentioned about the dive armor and talking about 2020, because they do have a plan with Skyblock. It's just they don't exactly have the manpower to execute this said plan, so it does make it a bit of a struggle for them. Beyond that, it's more so the updates that we get are just kind of weird. So recently they added a new update, which was pretty surprising, which is a new tab menu. It is a pretty cool tab menu. Like, it'll probably be on screen now. You guys can it gives a lot of information, like way more than you'd expect from like the normal tab menu. And in dungeons, it tells you a bunch of information as well. So it is very helpful, mind you. But I mean, I wasn't expecting this. I think it was one of their new admins or devs that made this as well. I think, I'm not entirely sure. I think they were one that made the post. They might have been the one that made it themselves. And again, something like this is very welcome. But again, it's not content, guys. We need the content. Content is key. But beyond that point, so we talked about dungeons. We talked about the Abyss. Just new islands in general, especially for skills, would be very nice. Since I think skills is something they need to look at. That skills are a key component to the game. You have people skilling, doing whatever all the time, and having new ways to, benefit that would be amazing for the players. Because as it is right now, the rates are okay, but there's constantly people fighting over trees, fighting over, Slayer mobs, fighting over whatever it is, and that kind of playstyle is not fun. It's honestly just a bit of a hassle to sit there and compete with other players. I personally don't like dealing with that. It's just a toxic thing. It's in the topic I've talked about before. There really needs to be new ways to XP farm, especially for skills like, foraging and even specifically mining as well. I would say fishing, but fishing has gotten a bunch of buffs in the last in the new mare update, where I got a new fishing rod, I got a new armor that gives a bunch of new sea creature rates, so it gave a massive buff to XP to it. So I'm not gonna talk about fishing, but it's mainly more so skills like mining, foraging, stuff like that. I even say like enchanting and stuff too, but that's more so up to you if you want to, you know, believe that. It's kind of surprising though that I think the mare update was just like my own personal thoughts about the mare update. It is a good and bad update. They could eventually add some new stuff to it, like I don't know, like a new mare that does some other cool event, like the mythological ritual event. That could be like a counterpart to that, which it might be a pretty cool addition if you ask me. But at the same time, it's just like, well, are they going to leave this content, or are they going to ditch it? Which is my main thing, because my mentality is always ditch the old content, ditch the end, ditch the magma slime, which they have ditched the magma slime boss. Which, by the way, it would be awesome if they added more mini boss slash world boss slash hourly bosses to Skyblock. I think that would be really cool, going back to the old days of Skyblock. But you know, it's just they're kind of scrapping old ideas. Like, they can scrap how the Ender Dragon boss works. That's fine. I think the Mega Boss design was good for like that. They need to slightly tweak the loot system, but then we actually have a use for Legion, and then make it actually a bit challenging. So even if you have a full lobby of players fighting the mob, it is going to be a challenge, right? And so the person who's pulling a lot of weight will be heavily rewarded. Now, I definitely know stuff like this has been suggested a lot, but I am really hoping they go about making more, you know, I guess you call them, I mean, I call them world bosses, but you know, stuff like the magma slime where it respawns every so often. Everyone in the lobby can participate and get rewards perfectly free, you know? That's how people used to get the Ember Rod back in the day, which is the best weapon. I think they could totally go with doing that for, you know, any new item, really. I just think it would be fun and something people can look forward to. And Skyblock really needs a way to make players want to log back in every day, which I think is crucial. There's definitely a lot of things they could do like that with daily quests. A bunch of other MMOs and stuff have that, where it's like you log in and you do your dailies, so you know you're motivated to log in and do them. And then maybe while you're doing your dailies, you'll notice something else and you want to go do that, which is like, oh hey, I'm doing my daily, and it's like, I see this cool thing, I want to run this cool dungeon, get my reward, awesome. You know, you do dailies, and it's like maybe they had like a bonus for dungeons, like first run of the day, you get like 2 times XP or 2 times loot or something. There's a lot of stuff they could do that would, you know, increase, is it replayability? Would increase the players' feeling to want to come back to the game every day. Beyond, you know, the tryhard sweats, for the casuals that don't play every day, they would want to attract them coming back every day, increase their player count, build it up, you know, have these players come back, and they release new updates, draw new people, sucker in these new people to keep playing with their, you know, gotta keep my dailies up, get my rewards, you know, get stacked, be good for the future, prepare for new updates. Because as it is right now, it just kind of feels like a hollow preparation for updates. Because there's kind of nothing really to look forward to. I mean, there is stuff to look forward to, but we're looking forward to the unknown. So beyond that, one thing I think would be really nice for Skyblock to have is a roadmap. So if you guys don't know what a roadmap is, it's pretty much just like a, you know, a map. They kind of map out the content they plan / want to add over like the next year or so. I think that would be very helpful / very nice for the players, so they have something to look forward to / kind of know what's going on in the game. I think right now one of the worst feelings is kind of playing and not knowing what's going to happen to the game. Especially for content creators, you know, we kind of don't know what's going on, and we can't exactly plan for the future as is, 'cause we don't know what's going to happen to our favorite game. So pretty much having it so they kind of be like, all right, here's what's potentially coming out in the future. We could then theory craft, we could talk about it, be like, oh, this is going to be really cool. It could be like this, this, and this. and other people like it could be like that, or that. I just think it's really cool because I know some other games that have done that. It definitely helps generate a lot of hype, and maybe they don't want to be rushed by the hype, but I think it would be very helpful, all in all. So I think I've been dragging on this a bit too long, but if you guys enjoyed this little talk, I guess in a bit more like a rant, maybe drop a sub or like the video and comment below what you'd be interested in seeing next. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.